So I am here at my campground. This is the next day. Look at that. How cool is that? So I guess the trick to doing something of the sort, you don't have to be all the way up high. You could get just as much enjoyment, I guess. That's kind of cool. The other one flew there somewhere, I think. Anywho, the weather is clear. We had a pretty gnarly thunderstorm yesterday with all sorts of lightning, and it rained through the night and this and that and the third. Coming back from the store, it was actually pouring. I was very surprised. Of all the trips that I've done to Moab, I've only seen it drizzle. I've never actually seen it come down like that. Ah, this guy's coming back. So, I'm in the same spot as usual. This being my last trip to Moab for a very long time. Feels rather sentimental. Unfortunately, it didn't start on a good note. Supposed to be hiking right now. And as you can see, I'm not hiking right now. If you've been following me close enough, you know that... oh, you could see that guy over there. Hold up, let me see if I could zoom in. If you look at the back wall, there he is. Right there. It's kind of cool. In any event, had a I don't even know how to describe. I don't want to turn this channel into me perpetually complaining about stuff, but unfortunately that's just so those of you that don't know, in 2016 I got into a pretty gnarly accident. Not my fault. This lady decided that stopping at a stop sign is optional, and oh, by the way, weather being cooler, you could see how all the people came this way. So I wish I knew how to turn the camera on an iPhone. I don't know how to do that, so you're just gonna have to stare at something. So in 2016, I got into this accident, and I got banged up pretty darn bad. I have internal injuries. You know, this is one of the reasons why I'm walking around with a knee brace. Thankfully, I got myself to the point where I could walk without it, but there's absolutely no way I could lift anything. I could do anything like hike, walk, long distances, etc. So, I thought I've overcome it. It took me several years. In 2023, something happened to my neck. I have no idea what happened to my neck. I was very, very briefly, temporarily, I guess, paralyzed, or whatever is the proper verbiage. Laid there in my bed, couldn't move, all this stuff. And ever since then, I still haven't figured out what causes flare-ups, but normally, like, I have a very high tolerance for pain because of the car accident and recovery and healing and all that stuff, but normally, like, if you remember my first vlog from May of this year, that hurt like 8 out of 10. And I mean, you could just hear it in my voice. I was like on the verge of tears. That's how badly it hurt. When I came here again in July, you know, it hurt probably more like 4.5 to 5. And I guess my injured leg that I managed to injure on the first day of hike kind of overshadowed that. This time, so yesterday I arrived here, I think it was like 6 o'clock or thereabouts. And at 6 o'clock, had to run to town to get some groceries. And here you could look at me like this. And I hope the camera is picking this up. And so, went to town. By the time I made it to Arches National Park, which is on the way to town, I was already on my second and took a third peel of a leaf. I knew that it was about to hit the fan. So, went to town, did my thing, got the groceries. I barely made it back. I knew I was living on borrowed time. Normally I don't take painkillers, you know, to deal with this. If I do, it's like really, like it really hurts. And so for me to take 3 in a day, which is the daily maximum for a leave, by the time I turned to Highway 313 from the 191, it's the road that eventually takes you to Island in the Sky Canyonlands. I started seeing cross-eyed. I started getting like, I'm not gonna say blurry vision, but I felt that I was like on the verge of, and I was like ready to pull over at any moment, because obviously you can't drive like that. When I came here and unpacked everything, put it in the fridge, that was a very rough night. I barely slept. Through the night, I was alternating ice packs from the fridge, well, the freezer. They're not frozen yet because I, put them in there once I picked up the motorhome. So they haven't had time to properly cool. And also, because of my Jackery power stations, I was able to connect my heat pack, the one that goes around like my shoulders and my back and everything. Through the night, I must have woken up, I don't know, like 10 times at least. I was sweating so profusely that sleeping, pardon the French, completely butt naked in 56-degree temperature here in Moab, I was still sweating. And then I would start getting like the chills. Like, my body would just uncontrollably shake and shiver. Somewhere around 5:30 this morning, I gave myself the last rendition of the heat pack, and by the time I officially got out of bed at like 6:44, my pain has downgraded from like a 10 to like a 5.5, and 5.5 is a lot more manageable. So the consequence of this, obviously, I haven't gotten hiking today. Yeah, I'm not even gonna. You plan for something like this for so long, And this is one controllable thing that you don't, non-controllable, uncontrollable thing you hope never having to deal with. But there's a chance that I will not be able to hike at all. I will see what I feel like at the end of this day. Yeah. Anywho, my goal is to go to town. I need to get me things that I ordered on Amazon from the post office. And I also need to swing by the RV storage place to sign paperwork and all this other la-ti-da. And then I need to come here and hopefully address some of the things. Like, I'm terrified to even, I had all these projects that I was supposed to do. And I don't, like, my hiking is of a higher priority than the things that I scheduled myself to do. So I may not even do anything at all that I wanted to fix, repair, etc. I don't know. But yes, that's kind of how my trip started. I'll keep you guys updated.